And here we have another vicious crime committed by these two blacks who killed a 12-year-old girl over a bicycle. A white girl was murdered by two blacks in Clayton, New Jersey, over a bicycle. The news have been almost completely silent about this. Completely silent. They're talking about the Kennedy, one of the Kennedy family, twisting the arm of a nurse and other bullshit. And they completely ignored this. Why? Because you're talking about two blacks who murdered an innocent 12-year-old white girl. It's unbelievable. The media in this country is un-effing believable. And here we have finally, I did find an article for the world to share, for the whole world to share, in the New Jersey paper. Suspects of Autumn Pasquale shocking murder wanted the girl's bike, police say. The article says the teenage brothers were known around town for their love of BMX bicycles, and one of the boys, the 15-year-old, had developed a reputation for stealing them to break them down for parts, friends say. 12-year-old Autumn Pasquale owned a bike like that, white with maroon handlebars. She lived up the street and around the corner, 17 houses away. The virtues of integration, right? Black and white living together, and white people getting murdered. That's right. She rode that bike through the neighborhoods all the time, according to the article. She was riding it Saturday afternoon, the last time anyone saw her alive. Today, in a case that has devastated the southern New Jersey community of Clayton, Gloucester County, prosecutor Sean Dalton said the 15-year-old perpetrators lured Autumn Pasquale to his house with the intention of stealing the bicycle for parts. And there, Dalton said, the teen and his 17-year-old brother killed her. The announcement during a late afternoon press conference came 18 hours after investigators found Autumn's body stuffed. The body of the girl stuffed in a recycling bin on a derelict property next to the brother's home. Can you imagine that? She was putting in a garbage can. Quote, today we mourn the loss of a young girl named Autumn Pasquale whose life was tragically cut short before it really began, said Dalton with his eyes moist. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her parents and her family. Dalton did not name the teens because they are juvenile. Oh, God forbid. He did not name the teen because they were black. But numerous people in the community, including relatives, teachers, and law enforcement officials familiar with the case, identified the 15-year-old as Justin Robinson and his older brother, Dante Robinson. Yeah, wonderful family. Both were charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, tampering with evidence, improperly disposing of the body, and so on. The prosecutor said, considering the charging the two as adults, a move that would drastically increase penalties if they are convicted. Now, they're going to be charged as adults. Now, watch, just like in the Jena 6 situation, where blacks came down to this town in Jena, Louisiana, to protest the fact that they were charged with attempted murder. Now, this was a case, you may remember the Jena 6, of blacks, more than 6, by the way, who beat almost to death a white teen. All right, they just gang beat this white, and the blacks were upset. They thought this was racist against black people. So they intimidated the white prosecutors to basically drop all the main charges. So watch how the same thing will develop right now, with this case where this 12-year-old white girl was viciously, brutally murdered by these two blacks. According to the article, they were being held in juvenile detention facility in Camden County, pending a hearing. As the detective wheeled a bicycle from the Robinson home this morning, neighbors let out a collective gasp. They knew the bike. It had been described it around the clock news reports since Saturday. Photos of Autumn, a petite blonde with blue eyes, had been all over television and the internet. Hundreds of residents had taken part in searches for the girl. A seventh grader of Clayton Middle School, a recreation league soccer player, and a cheerleader. That's what she was. That's all she was. 20 law enforcement agencies, including the state police and the FBI, participated in the hunt. In the end, it was Robinson brothers' own mother, Anita Saunders, who provided police with crucial information leading to the arrest. Without going into the detail, Dalton said the mother discovered a suspicious Facebook posting on an account held by one of her sons. With that in hand, investigators developed additional evidence leading to the recycling bin, Dalton said. For Autumn's family, there is only grief. There is evil everywhere, even in the small town of Clayton, the girl's great-uncle Paul Spadafora said at a separate news conference, thanking all those who had searched for Autumn. Yeah, right. Well, there's evil in the black community, I can assure you that. Tonight, relatives gathered at the home Autumn shared with her father, a former postal worker, and her two siblings, Natalie and AJ. The family declined comment. Not far away, more than 1,000 people gathered at Clayton Baptist Church for a vigil in Autumn's honor. Fewer than 500 fit inside the modest church. Were crying, mourners prayed and joined in singing Amazing Grace. Yeah, Amazing Grace, all right. Like that's going to bring it back. Others prayed and sang outside. Afterwards, Spadafora thanked the many law enforcement officials and volunteers who aided in the search of Autumn. He also said she's in a better place. Really, she's in a better place. I mean, I can't believe white people say that, you know. They get brutally murdered by these blacks and they just go around and say, they're in a better place now. Yeah, right. And he said, I mean, you know, you kind of have to feel for the poor guy. And he said, we believe she's where God wanted her to be, really. So the ending here is sad, but for the relatives that have greeted her in heaven, it's a happy day. Right. Clayton Mayor Tom Bianco said the town had been rocked by the killing. Clayton, a largely blue-collar community about 22 miles south of Camden, had little serious crime and prides itself on a spirit of caring and neighborliness. He said, now one of their own is gone. It is shocking, Bianco said. A 12-year-old girl won't be able to celebrate her 13th birthday. Her mother and father won't be able to kiss this girl for the rest of their lives. They're being robbed of themselves. It was unclear how well Autumn knew the Robinson brothers. Her Facebook page shows she was friends with Justin Robinson, but the prosecutor declined to discuss any relationship. He also provided little information about how the teen allegedly lured Autumn to his house, what happened inside, or whether any kind of weapon was used in the strangulation. Asked if the girl's body had been mutilated in any way, Dalton declined comment. Of course she was. Of course she was. If you're going to stuff somebody in a recycling bin, then you had to cut them up like a piece of meat, and that's what they did. Is monsters, them and their family and their friends and the rest of the hideous group of people. Neighbors and friends of the brothers provided a portrait of two teenagers who were acquainted. Corey Hughes, 19, a recent graduate of Clayton High School, said he knows all the three of the brothers who live in the home. Its worn white exterior taking on mold. Justin Robinson, Hughes said, was a known troublemaker who would steal BMX bikes from around town for their parts. Even so, he said, he never would have imagined him capable of murder. Really. How naive. How naive white people are. How naive you are. And by the way, you know, the reason why you had these black families in this, what up until recently was a predominantly white neighborhood, because Trenton has decided to knock down all the goddamn projects, you know, in Newark and Camden, because they said that the projects caused the crime. So they're moving all those blacks who formerly lived in Newark and Camden. They're moving on in the suburbs next to white people, you know, who ran away from the cities because they were the victims of black crime. So now the Trenton and the liberal white politician, they are taking all these black criminals and putting right next to all these white working class people, you know. The article says, Justin Robinson and his 18-year-old brother Michael attended Clayton High School. Others say Dante Robinson attends Bank Ridge Regional School, part of the County Special Services School District. I know all three of them already say they were always in trouble. They were into biking, BMX, that stuff. They were always looking for parts and that kind of stuff. Yeah, right. And that's the story. And then you got the silly comments here, you know, below the article. One guy says they probably found it easy to kill her because of the demonization of white people that many African American kids get from their parents and even teachers. Racism goes both ways, really. When was the last time you heard of two white teens murdering a white girl? What do you mean racism goes both ways? It goes one way as far as I can see. The blacks killing white people. I don't understand this white people. One brave soul luckily wrote, race needs to be mentioned because the crime rate among young black males is out of control. We need to acknowledge that fact and create solution. Finally, a courageous comment here. BeHonestNewJersey.com. If it had been a black girl murdered by two white boys, you would not have dwelled on the bikes. Indeed, I mean, just to think of it now, the fucking article is about the goddamn BMX bike. It would have been about race. White people should be outraged. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And there you have it. So now watch how this thing is either forgotten, becomes a minor local event, you know, or if the blacks get upset, they're going to have demonstration down there because, you know, the two black murderers are going to be treated badly by the white racist. Then we're going to hear more about it. So let's hope that the black people get upset over this.